So I'm just going to pick up where I left off. But I was speaking on the data of the amateur sports and how that can give an insight on the direction of America. And that's what brings me here is, to really figure out the points. What does America look like now? And where are we headed? Where we come from? Where we want to go. And just back to the beginning of the conversation, this just isn't it. This can't be it. Wake up, go to school, fail, win, lose. You think about it. Seriously, you that lame to just be woke up, put clothes on, stunt, 9 to 5, or own a business, grinding there. And that's the beauty of life, but it's in its stages and steps. Once we break it down, you'll be able to recognize and enjoy those individual stages and steps, those individual steps you take each day on your grind. We'll be able to appreciate that on a finite level the more that we talk about this topic. But from the surface, looking into how deep things are, we are not that simple of creatures, bro. Just to be sit here to not think past this. This is not just it. And if you feel like you're trying to be convinced, I am trying to convince you that. You talk about legacy and how you want to leave one. How you know what's going to be left? Who's here to protect it? Are you putting that in yourself and your kids, or each one that you're reaching, each one that you're teaching, that you want to affect them in a way that you're ensured that your legacy is left behind? Don't talk about legacy if you ain't talking about how legacy is going to be protected. We got to stop doing that. How are legacies protected? Culturally speaking, there's this thing on space. We talk about nations, and you hear about nation space race and all that. But in the country of America, there's a mix of nations. Things hit the fan. What nations are on this ship off planet Earth? If planet Earth reaches its boiling point, which, some scientists, and depending on the scientists you follow and the data that you research, some say we're on the breaking point of a dormant state for the world, for the planet, where it's going to go dormant. And, there's a lot of different things, different planets in the solar system. There's one thing that we can really kind of lean towards truth as a tangible standpoint is climate change and the weather and extremes. They say that one day California is going to fall into the ocean from a big earthquake. They say Yellowstone's about to blow. What is climate change? What is your thoughts on climate change? Have you drove in your car like you're doing now, or sat where you're at like you're doing right now? Whether it be chilling with the homies, sitting back medicated, drinking, or dogs out there in the street. What's up? Y'all ever had this conversation? How's climate change going to affect me and my family? Better yet, go ahead, let's do this. Anybody can do this. Google sea level rise. Click news, click recent. Don't worry, I'll wait. Those are crises. And within the stock market, crises are opportunities. And that's just the way the world is set up right now. Future speaking, culturally speaking, individually speaking, is America prepared to lead? What are we doing with this infrastructure? What are we doing with this, with all these endless possibilities and this endless talent and this endless expansion of consciousness? What are we doing with this? Allowing it to develop and collect for AI? Are we doing this for a machine? Are we allowing AI to see all of us so it can do what? What are you doing it for? I know at one point I was doing it for the high. I was doing it for the drugs. Coming down off of that roller coaster and up onto life up into life, fully awake, man, and I'm ready to go 24/7. It's crazy up here. If you shouts out to my people battling, man, because I know it's real. Addiction is a real thing, people. And then, we can get into energy and with the force fields it creates. It's so deep. There's a way out, though, man. It's beauty and it's art. It's entertainment. It's an outlet in athletics and physical activity. It's inspiring everyone. Inspiring people. And the further we get in the conversation, I can tell you that's the hardest thing to do right now. Shouts out to Public Broadcast Radio. I was listening to them one day, and they had the topic. What is the outlook and what is the perception of the modern day man? What is that? Your perception, my perception is going to be different. So somebody's lying or telling the truth. How do we put that together? We do that in the power circle. Your ears matter. Your voice matters. How you grow matters. If you have kids, it sure and the hell matter, because that's tomorrow. When you're dead, because right now is only promised and tomorrow's not. Once me and you are dead, our kids are the ones that continue our legacy. Our kids are the ones that continue our breath of air and our hopes. What we put in them is what they put out. And there's a different topic in left field that we can get into about the experiences I've had by learning from my kids here lately. I don't know about anyone else, but that may be another topic. How many of you guys out there in the world are learning from your kids these days? Because I can raise my hand to that question. There's so many days where my kids have said, "Mom, Dad, y'all need to chill. Yo, Dad, you bugging. Mom, why you snapping? Calm down, please, And if you allow that to help you and take that in, I feel like that's a good direction. They recognize there's no excuse for them, right? That's a different topic, though. So, but come on, man, let's get involved. I'm not begging for listeners. I'm not begging for anticipation. But I am begging for allowing you to open up and allow yourself to feel and look around you and see what's going on and question where you're at. I'm questioning where I'm at every day and what I can do. I'm just now being sober enough to be able to find out what my niche is. Shouts out to athletes, amateur sports, overlooked, LLC. I will bring a little bit of culture to it. It's going to be different for my white listeners. For my black listeners, it's going to be different for you too. I guess I'm a little bit in the middle. I do see myself as a bridge to sort of say, oh my God, this dude may sound like he might be white, but is he black? Some of my words may have a little slang to it, but that's just how it is, and we'll talk about that. Culture differences, language, what's acceptable, what's not. The word nigga. Who you slapping if you hear say it? Who you not slapping if you hear say it? Is it like the word dude? Can we not put it like that? Is it misinterpreted because of how Webster, which is probably all white panel, interprets the word dude? That's a topic that we need to have. Relationships. Interracial relationships. Biracial children. White relationship. Black relationship. What's America? Everything America in the power circle.